Are Bill Belichick and his controlling 24-year-old girlfriend ruining North Carolina's chances of joining the Big Ten or the SEC when conference expansion resumes? Yes, they are. I'll explain. Locked On Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman. 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer. I want to thank you for making us your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hit that free subscribe button while you're watching so you don't miss a single episode. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend are tainting the Tar Heels' reputation. What does that mean for the Big Ten? We'll talk about that, plus Big Ten news and our Big Ten classics all coming up. But this Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend Jordon Hudson story is going to end badly, one way or the other, for either Bill Belichick or the North Carolina Tar Heels, one way or the other. She's very involved with Bill and his business operations, and she's intertwining herself with an official North Carolina athletic department business, even though she has no official title with the school. Ugh. If things get ugly here, and there are many ways in which they could get ugly, she could potentially be a legal liability for the school at worst and an awkward embarrassment for the university at best. And if things get really ugly and messy with a breakup or a legal situation, or if Bill and the university end up in a messy split over her involvement in everything, then look out. Look out. I couldn't help but wonder, because I'm always thinking of stuff like this, if this messiness could eventually hurt North Carolina's chances of joining the Big Ten or the SEC once conference expansion and that carousel gets wound up again in less than 5 years. Maybe not. Maybe not, because that decision ultimately will come down to dollars and cents, and Bill and his girlfriend will probably be long gone from Chapel Hill by then. Even if their strange relationship continues, maybe that'll be over too. Quick recap right here on our philosophy on Locked On Big Ten. You everydayers know this all too well, so just take a minute. But I'll explain how the Big Ten could be involved with this mess with Bill Belichick, a 24-year-old girlfriend, and North Carolina. The ACC bought some time recently with its broadcast rights revenue courtroom settlement with Florida State and Clemson a couple of months ago. But this is just a short-term fix on everybody being unhappy with that low-paying deal. And these schools are still going to leave the ACC, and they're just going to wait until it's more affordable to do so in about 5 years. But these conversations are going to start picking up in about 3 to 5 years. And this all dovetails into the next round of TV contract negotiations. They'll all be up at this time. So that's when it's all going to happen. That's when the rich will get richer. Additional schools will be a part of it in the Big Ten and the SEC. They will grow. Once Florida State and Clemson announce that they're leaving the ACC, other schools will follow suit. Even desirable Big 12 teams will leave as well. Nobody wants to be left out. You either got to be part of these two super conferences that I say are going to happen between the Big Ten and the SEC, which they will mirror the AFC and NFC NFL style. They'll even have their own championship. I'm absolutely convinced that this is how it's going to go down. And big, important schools will have to join the Big Ten or the ACC or wither away. Join or be left out. That's what's going to happen in this next round. Now, as the Big Ten and the SEC all choose what schools they want, which ones they don't, it is our position that North Carolina is the one school that the Big Ten and the SEC may get into a little bit of a bidding war over. It's a very desirable school. Geographically, North Carolina is in a region which both conferences desire to extend their footprint. Neither conference is in North Carolina. It's also a good academic school. Big Ten likes that. Basketball, true blue blood. Big Ten and SEC. Why wouldn't they like that? And of course, football is solid. Football is solid. But what if football, I mean, it's not great, but it's solid. What if football becomes a disaster before our very eyes? What if Bill Belichick leaves this program in a mess and leaves before he even really gets started? What if this soap opera with his girlfriend, who's 48, 49 years younger than him, what if she becomes the unofficial first lady of Carolina football? I think that's already happened. I think it has. So Bill Belichick, and if you're not aware of this, you might not be. Many of you are. Bill Belichick has requested that all emails to him at North Carolina are CC'd to the girlfriend. The other North Carolina people, athletic department, you want to email Bill? Copy the girlfriend. She signs her emails as chief operating officer of Bill Belichick Productions. It's a very blurry line between personal and professional. And by the way, it's not an official title at North Carolina. There are plenty behind the scenes at North Carolina who are growing very uncomfortable with this situation. Very. But Bill Belichick still honeymooning with the school, right? He's a big name. He's the most famous coach ever in the NFL. And North Carolina was glad to land such a big fish, a big name, and get all the attention and hopefully resurrect their football program. They like that. They like saying, hey, Bill Belichick's our football coach. They like saying that to donors. They like saying that to name, image, and likeness people. They like saying that to recruits. Hey, Bill Belichick, that guy that won all those Super Bowls with Tom Brady? He's our guy. They like that. If it were just that, great. But it's not. It's all that plus the 24-year-old girlfriend who's 49 years younger than he is. Crazy. But again, he's still kind of in that honeymoon phase with the school to the point where nobody's going to call him out on this stuff. Nobody's got the guts over there right now at North Carolina to tell Bill there needs to be some separation between personal and professional life. And according to many reports in North Carolina, this relationship has been called alarming. And many have claimed that it's just gone off the rails behind the scenes. So how do we get a peek into all this? Bill's got a new book out. He wants to sell it. He's using the media. He's doing interviews. Bill hates doing interviews. Hates it. Not very good at it either. But he's doing them because he wants to sell a book. And on the most recent CBS Sunday morning program this past Sunday, that interview, it didn't go well. It didn't. The interviewer asked Bill how he and the girlfriend met. The girlfriend was heard off camera, but very nearby, barking out, hey, we're not answering that question. Whoa, that's a little weird. She reportedly interrupted the interview on other occasions and even caused a 30-minute delay because she stormed out. I guess Bill had to go chase her down and find out what's wrong and smooth out the. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I'm just making an assumption on relationships. She's been seen on the field at practice, interacting with Bill while he's in the middle of drills. That was a tad unprofessional. Earlier last week, she released a Belichick email on social media and put Taylor Swift music underneath it. That's Bill complaining the media is not covering the right content in his book, only the negative stuff. He's complaining about the media that he was never particularly too nice to. Things got so bad this week that Bill had to release a press release, a statement on North Carolina letterhead. And this was on Wednesday. And he emphasized that he had indicated to his publicist before that CBS interview and all interviews, says that all these book interviews are supposed to be about the content in the book, i.e. no personal stuff. So he said when the CBS interviewer asked how he met the girlfriend and the girlfriend objected, when she objected, Belichick said that she was just doing her job. What job is that exactly? Is that the girlfriend job? Is that the COO of Bill Belichick Productions job? Is that the publicist job? The sports information director job? I'm not sure. Not sure what that was exactly. He went on to defend the girlfriend further by saying the 35-minute conversation with CBS was boiled down and edited down to 8 minutes, and it made the girlfriend look bad. Speaking of looking bad, what about all those silly Instagram photos of the two of them that she's been posting? Does he even know those are out in the public? Does he even know what Instagram is? I'll tell you why this mess is even worse than it seems when it comes to the Tar Heels season opener on the football field, too. Oh, we got more stuff coming. I'll get to that in just a minute. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and you'll never miss an episode. It's free. Check that out. And don't forget to pick up some Big Ten gear right at our website where we put all of our podcasts at talkbig10.com. You can get that, podcasts and merchandise all in one place. All right, I got a lot more to say about this messy relationship about Bill Belichick, how it pertains to the Big Ten, and their nationally televised season opener on September 1st. That's going to be a circus. All that's coming up right here in 1 minute as we continue on Locked On Big Ten. Did you know that your Amazon Fire TV, it's also an Xbox. It's 2-in-1. You can turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign in into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to go. Dive into hundreds of premium titles, including EA Sports, College Football 25, to Call of Duty, all these popular games right there. It's easily reached as streaming your favorite shows. That easy. Did you know that, when you're gaming and you got your setup and all that, what about if you go to a hotel, family visits, maybe just hanging out in the bedroom away from the family room? Your Fire TV Stick 4K makes it possible to keep playing from almost anywhere. So check that out. Head on over to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On and get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K, second generation, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, first and second generation, and Fire TV Cube, that's third generation. So check all of that out. Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On. This episode is brought to you by Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work, taking pride in what you build, and practicing every detail to get the best results. No one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. And working together makes getting the win easier. At Epicor, the All-Stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things that we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices. Epicor ERP solutions are created by industry experts to help make every day easier. Seeing your whole supply chain is easier. Managing logistics is easier. Responding to price changes is easier. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global vision, we'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way. Because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most of every hard-working minute. Easier doesn't cut corners. Easier takes the lead. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. That's www.easierwithepicor.com. Thanks for making Locked On Big Ten your first listen each and every day, especially you everydayers out there. Thank you. Meanwhile, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and share, follow, and like Locked On Big Ten. By the way, we're making a hard push to 20,000 subscribers before football season. We're almost at 18,000 right now. So please hit that subscribe button down below and check out our website, talkbig10.com, for all of our podcasts and school merchandise. All right, let's get back to how bad and embarrassing this is for North Carolina with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend that's 49 years younger, who's apparently running all of his business affairs, and people are very uncomfortable with it at North Carolina, and how this is starting to harm North Carolina's reputation, which will then affect their attractiveness to other conferences like the Big Ten and the SEC when it comes time for expansion. So speaking of looking bad, We just touched on it earlier. I didn't really get into the dumb social media post that the girlfriend she's been taking pictures of her and Bill doing silly stuff like him on his back on the beach, lifting her up on his legs, and she's doing the Titanic pose. There was the one where he's fishing with a rod and she's right there in the ocean wearing a mermaid suit. Stupid. For a guy that hated being in the media, all this stuff's getting posted all over Instagram on her Instagram page. Does he even know what Instagram is? Does he know that she's posting all this stuff? I find it hard to believe that he gave the thumbs up and the green light for all this. It's a little bit embarrassing. We haven't said anything till now, but it's embarrassing. So, and again, I'll point out the hypocrisy, social media, standard media. Bill's very hypocritical here to use the media to sell his new book and not be happy with how it's being covered. But he's using the media, the media that he claims not to like. He's been a pain in the rear for years for the media, for decades, showing outward disdain for the media. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Anyway, North Carolina has a couple of bigger problems on the horizon. Again, I emphasize this point. It ties it back into the Big Ten. North Carolina wanted to bring Bill in to raise the level of football, the football program, and have it match its basketball program because football drives everything. And if your football program isn't the top of the food chain in your athletic department, you can't be basketball. As popular as basketball is in North Carolina, football has to drive the money. And they want a more worthy football program with Bill Belichick winning games and playing for ACC championships. So, and they want to make themselves look very desirable on all sets for a possible move to the Big Ten or the SEC. They got all this embarrassing soap opera stuff going on. I don't know if it'll hurt or not. It's not going to help. I'll tell you that. Plus, let's call it the way it is. North Carolina's in the Bible Belt. And yeah, sure, there's some other people looking the other way. You got a 73-year-old coach and a 24-year-old girlfriend. Yeah. Look, people are looking sideways at that. A lot of them are. I have a daughter older than her. It creeps me out. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I have a personal opinion. It creeps me out. But, North Carolina wants this pristine, powerful reputation. They don't want it, busied with press releases in April from its famous football coach explaining how his girlfriend is being treated. No, they want to become a football powerhouse. They don't want this nonsense. Again, the entire thing's creepy, and it feels like it's about to go off the rails here. And it could go off the rails before he even coaches his first game. Does he even make it to the first game at this point? Or better yet, does she? And at some point, does he cut her loose? Say, I got to get back to concentrating on football. On to North Carolina. Let's do it. By the way, here's the real fun part. We haven't mentioned this yet. A lot of people don't realize this yet, unless you're like me, always looking ahead at schedules and stuff. North Carolina, have you seen this? North Carolina opens up the season at home against TCU. It's not on that first Saturday, August 30th. Not even the August 31st. It's Monday Night Football, September 1st. That first Monday night game. That open Monday night game where NFL preseason is over, taking a break before the real season. We always put in a nationally televised college football game there. The North Carolina Tar Heels, Bill Belichick, and a 24-year-old girlfriend. National TV against TCU. It's the only game in town. It's the only game any of us are going to be watching. We're all going to be locked in on it. What's the over-under right now on how many times she's on camera? She going to be on the sideline, or is she going to be in a skybox or a suite? Or in the stands? Where do you think she'll be? Cameras will find her. We got Taylor Swift 2.0 here. Be ready. I'm telling you, the Tar Heel athletic department is not going to be happy. All right. Hit me up with the comments. Let's go. Hit me up. Start typing away. We'd love to hear what you think about all this. In other Big Ten football news, I didn't want to save this for Tuesday tweets. I thought this was amusing. Oregon They tweeted a post in relation to a record 10 Oregon Duck football players getting drafted by the NFL. Congratulations. That's great. In fact, the tweet said for the second year in a row, Oregon has set a new program record for selections in the NFL draft. And then it said historic production. Get it? Pro, NFL, Duck, Oregon Duck, Sean, production. I thought it was clever. I thought I'd throw it out there. I liked it. Hey, another day and another quarterback departing UCLA in the transfer portal. This is, of course, following the reported arrival of Nico and Madden Iamaleava. Quarterback Nick Billups, he's now departing. He was there for a year after arriving from BYU. Robert McDaniel gone. DeMarcus Davis gone. Joey Aguilar going to Tennessee, ironically, all gone. They see the writing on the wall. They see how this is going to go down. They're all leaving. They want to go play. Hey, tomorrow, tune in. We are going to look at the Washington Huskies. Do you know their spring game? It's Friday night. Friday night under the lights, or the twilight, I should say. I got a lot to say about them. I think Washington is going to be, we want to pick a sleeper, or you want to call it an up-and-coming team, or their quarterback, kind of the rising star. Tell your friends. We're going to talk some Washington Huskies football here tomorrow. Coming up, we got Big Ten Classics and Big Ten Live Action. Plus, we'll tell you how you can watch that Husky football game. All that coming up here in just a minute on Locked On Big Ten. You ever look at your bank account and go, whoa, where'd my money go? It's gone. Maybe you spent too much on dining or online shopping or entertainment. Yeah, it's easy to lose track. That's when Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control of your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, your investments, spending in one place. You can you just stop just managing your money and start building actual wealth. They got great insights to help you out with finances, all in one convenience. You can stop juggling multiple apps for all of your finances and credit cards and bank statements. Put it all together. Monarch Money. You can even put your spouse or significant other's accounts there right in one place with yours. Okay? It takes all the stress out of tracking that stuff down. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first year. All right, if you're new, if you're an everydayer, but if you're new, we always do features at the end of our podcast. Mondays we do our top 10 Big Ten observations. Tuesday tweets. You heard me mention that a minute ago. Wednesdays we power rank. Thursdays we look at the Big Ten Network, Big Ten Classics, Big Ten Live Action. We highlight a few things on their schedule over the weekend, and we'll make some picks going into the weekend. But first, if you're audio only, we'll go ahead and describe what we're showing on screen so you don't feel left out with it. Here's a look at the grid for Big Ten Classics and Live Action over the weekend. So I'm going to pick it up on Friday, May 2nd. Can you believe it's May already? So we get through May, we get through June, late July. We're doing practice, our July media days in Las Vegas. Practice rolling in August. It's practically here. Football season's here. 11 a.m. Eastern, a Northwestern football classic. We don't get many of those. This is Michigan at Northwestern from the year 2000. Damian Anderson, you remember that name? He rushed for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Zach Kustok scored twice for the 21st-ranked Wildcats, including a game-winning touchdown with 20 seconds to go in a 54-51 victory over the 12th-ranked Wolverines. Wolverines were ranked 12th in the country, and that defense gave up 54 points. Inconceivable. 1 o'clock. It's a airing of the Michigan spring football game, in case you missed it. That's on at 1 o'clock Eastern. And then at 4 o'clock, again, this is all Friday, we got a Washington football classic. Oregon at Washington from 2023. We got Michael Penix Jr. throwing a late touchdown pass to Rome Odunze to lift the 8th-ranked Huskies to a 36-33 victory over the 7th-ranked Oregon Ducks. Oh, both those games that year were 3-point games between those two. Catch it, 4 o'clock Eastern on Friday. And then it leads up to the main event that we were alluding to a minute ago. We got the spring game for the Washington Huskies. That's right. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. So still be light out. By the time that thing's over, that'll be under the lights, I think. So looking forward to that. I got a lot to say about this Washington football team on tomorrow's podcast. So tune in for that. But if you want to catch the spring game, it's live, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on Friday night. What else are you going to do on a Friday night? Watch some Washington Husky football. They'll replay it many times throughout the weekend as well. But let's look ahead. Saturday, May 3rd. Let's pick it up at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'll get one of those Big Ten football on 60s where they highlight it from snap to snap. They edit it. Michigan at Washington. Going to do a lot of Washington stuff here since they got their spring game. This is from their October game. Remember, Will Rogers, 271 yards and 2 touchdowns to help the Huskies defeat the 10th-ranked Wolverines, 27-17. I believe Jack Tuttle made his season debut for the Wolverines in that loss. Then at 9:30, a replay. By the way, I'm going to just mention that it's not here on the grid, but at 9:30, we got a replay of that Washington spring game. We'll pick it up here at noon. Big Ten baseball. It's Michigan and Ohio State. Always a big deal when those two play, but Ohio State baseball is not very good this year. They're probably not looking forward to this. They're at the bottom of the Big Ten. We did our baseball power rankings in yesterday's podcast. If you want to go check that out as well. Let's see what else we have here. Let's flip the screen because we're still on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We got Big Ten men's lacrosse, the Big Ten championship. If you want to check that out. And then 11:30, an Oregon football classic, Big Ten championship game just from last December here, Oregon versus Penn State. Dylan Gabriel, 4 touchdowns, and the top-ranked undefeated Ducks beat the third-ranked Nittany Lions 45-37 and got the program's first Big Ten title. How about that? And those two play each other in the regular season this year. Can't wait. All right, let's move on to Sunday, May 4th, picking up at 10 a.m. Eastern. We got another one of those Big Ten football in 60 minutes. The whole game boiled down. Oh, this is a good one. Early 2024. Colorado, Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders versus Dylan Raiola, Nebraska. Dante Dottle rushing for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the Huskers to an impressive 28-10 victory over the Buffaloes. That was an electric atmosphere, right? If I remember, it was a night game. Oh, that was good. Some say that game hurt Shedeur Sanders more than any other game film because Matt Rule, Nebraska, they run that cover 2 pro-style defense, and Shedeur couldn't figure it out. Does that hurt him? Yeah, check it out. 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. At noon, we got some Big Ten softball. In fact, we got that kicks off a triple header. Big Ten softball. Maryland at Nebraska at 12. Northwestern at UCLA at 2. Michigan State at Oregon at 4. Then at 8 o'clock, we'll replay the spring football game for Washington from Friday night. In case you missed it Friday night, you can watch it Sunday night. And then at 10:30, one of those Big Ten football 60 highlights, USC at Washington from this past year. Jonah Coleman rushing for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Huskies beat the Trojans 26-21. So there you have it. Our Big Ten Classics in live action this weekend. Check it out on the Big Ten Network. Or tape them, record them. I know the weather's getting kind of nice in some areas. Maybe you're going to be out and about. Record them. There's a lot of good stuff on this weekend. It's really good Big Ten stuff. In the meantime, many ways for you to interact with this podcast. Twitter, X, Talk Big Ten. Check us out. Our website, talkbig10.com, number 10. See on the crawl on the video. All of our podcasts go there. Plus, you can get merchandise from your favorite Big Ten school. Be sure to subscribe before you go. Just hit it real quick. You won't even notice. Just click it. And then you'll never miss an episode. But we're making a push. 20,000 subscribers this summer before the start of football. We're about ready to hit 18,000. Help us out if you don't mind. And subscribe for free so you never miss an episode there. Always invite you to go back and check a second episode of ours as well for a second listen. Always love that. Thanks for checking us out here today. Can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow. All news, Big Ten. This is the only podcast in the world that does Big Ten, video and audio. Cover all 18 teams. News. We also give you analysis of that news. And we also give you opinion on that news. It's the only podcast in the world like it right here. Tell your friends about us. I know you have Big Ten friends and alum and family members. Tell them we're out here each and every day. All right. Can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks for your time today. For Locked On Big Ten, I'm Craig Sheeman. We'll talk to you next time.